Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's final video, day 10, will take us around the 6th of July, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM on summer's favourites around a couple of weeks. And we'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. So I shall get on that view in a moment. Just say that the first video released today was our 7 AM upload. We also released the first season model roundup for autumn 2021, and if that wasn't enough, we released a weekend podcast as well as always on a Saturday, so do check out all of today's videos. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hope you're having a lovely Saturday. At the end of the video, I'm going to talk you through what's happening on the channel tomorrow. But let's do the 10 to 14 day first. So we're going to begin with Central England temperature. Here we go. Then the CT for June is currently standing at 15.8. So an anomaly of 1.7 degrees above average. So still very substantially above average. It has come down from where it was a couple of weeks ago when it was in the 17s. But nevertheless, it's still significantly above average. That is provisional, of course, to yesterday, 25th of June. Been a very odd year for the CT so far. So we had January coming out colder than average. We had February and March coming out significantly warmer than average. We had April coming out as our coldest April since 1986. And May coming out as our coldest May since 1996. And then we have June coming with what's going to be significantly above average temperature. We do not know yet how much above average is going to be, but above average it certainly will be. I've got a feeling it's going to come out somewhere around sort of 16, so it's just somewhere like 16 to, I suppose, 15.7, something in that order. So it is going to be very substantially above average. We showed you this a couple of weeks ago, but just to put into context how this compares to like past CTs for June. This is CT page at UK Met going all the way back to 1659. So if we come down through the century, of course CT, central temperature, is the longest, oldest, most consistent temperature record anywhere on Earth, but further back you go, more unreliable it gets. But if we come down to the current year, which of course is 2021, we can see that June's number, June CT, will be placed there. So how this compares with like last year, we had June 2020 coming in at 15.3, so it's going to be warmer than that, I think. It's going to be warmer than 2019 as well, which came in at 14.2. 2018 was a very warm June at 16.1. We may be quite close to that in 2017 as well at 16.0. We will be warmer than 2016 at 15.2. And all the years going back beyond that. So the last time we had like quite a cool June was in 2013 at 13.6. And then of course had a hot July after that. And 2012 also had a cool June as well at 13.5. 2011 at 13.8. So a run of cool Junes. 2010 is interesting. That's quite a warm June. We will be a little bit above that. But that came out at 15.2. That's a proper front-loaded summer, so it's very warm from June into July. I mean, later July it sort of deteriorated, culminating in a very cool and wet August. But warmest June on record in recent times is quite a long time ago. Back in 1976. This is the warmest June, you know, in the reliable era, in the reliable time frame. At 17.0, of course, the daddy of hot summers, that one. And that's like the hottest June of the 20th century. Not the hottest June ever, though, actually. I'll show you that in a second. But 76 is like the hottest June on record in the reliable era. But it was only a few years before that. We had like the coldest June on record in 1972. Had a CT of 11.8. Can you believe that? 11.8. That must have been an absolutely atrocious June in 1972 to come out with a central temperature in the 11s. Wow, that must have been really, really cold month. But just a couple of years after that, or just like a few years after that, we have 76 at 17.0, which, as I say, is like the hottest June record reliably, and sort of within the 20th century, but not the hottest ever. For the hottest June ever, we have to go all the way back into the 1800s, unbelievably. So let's try and find it then. I think it's there, 1846. so long ago. 1846 has June CT of 18.2. Wow, over a degree above June 1976. So what an unbelievable month that was. The only time June has ever posted a CT in the 18s was in 1846. So it's just going to show you the potential for how hot it can get in June. Actually, you know, that shows the potential for how extreme the heat can get in June, albeit it's only happened once since 1659. But nevertheless, it's happened once, you know, it can happen again, no reason why not, but it's not going to happen this year. But yeah, that's like the very, very hottest June on record. A long time ago, 1846. Wow, interestingly, that was quite a front-loaded summer because July and August, well, it's not cold at 16.5 and 16.6. You would not necessarily say they were particularly hot either. So that was very, very much a front-loaded summer, and obviously there must have been a deterioration once that June was out of the way. I'll have to do a historic video, won't I, sometime for 1846. Quite an interesting year, actually. It starts off really warm, January, February, significantly above average. Then we have this really hot June, and then it begins to get cooler, and it actually ends up in a very cold December, actually a very cold winter. December CT is virtually negative, and January and February of 1847 are both cold as well, cold months at 2.2 and 2.4, but December 1846 is really freezing cold, with a CT at 0.5. I'll have to do a historic video for 1846 to 1847 sometime. It must be a very interesting year. I'm sure everybody would like to see how that hot June developed and then what happened through the rest of the summer. Anyway, let's come back down to the current year. I'm off on a tangent again. Let's come down to the current year. So June CT will be placed there on Thursday, which will be the first day of July. I think it'll be somewhere in the upper 15s to low 16s. We will find out, we'll find out in not too much longer to wait. One interesting point is that I think if it should come in at like above 16.1, so let's say it comes in at like 16.2, I'm just going to go through it, because I think if we come in at like 16.2, which I don't think we will, but we might do, it's a possibility, then that will actually be our hottest June since 1976, if we come in above 16.1, the 16.1 that we got in 2018, and then 16.1 that we got in 2003. So if we should come in at 16.2 or above for this CT, then that will actually be the hottest, will actually have been the hottest June since 1976. So that will be something quite noteworthy to watch out for. I don't think we'll do that, but it's going to be a close run thing. So definitely we'll, push this June to, a very high temperature. Actually, if we're, even considering that it might be the hottest June since 1976. Anyway, we'll find out on Thursday, so more about that in a few days' time. Right, centering the temperature next. This is how the CT, no, this is CT, what I'm talking about, upper air temperatures next. So this is how the upper air temperatures are looking. I think there's still a bit left over from last night's live stream, actually. So this is how the upper air temperature is looking for Belfast for the next couple of weeks. The red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Belfast. Temperatures are on the up now. So upper air temperatures are lifting up at the moment. It is going to be getting warmer, particularly in the northern half of the country, interestingly. All areas are going to get warm with the upper air temperatures, but if you have a look at weekend forecast, you'll see there's quite a bit of quite a bit of rain, showers, long spells of rain, maybe thunder to come for the south, which will have a limiting effect on the temperature. So although the upper air temperatures are going up, that's why I'm a bit dubious about where the CT will come in, because I think actually through like central England, we're probably going to get quite a lot of showers in the next few days, and that will have a bit of a limiting effect on the temperature. Further north, no problem at all, and it's going to be very warm with these warm upper air temperatures and warm surface temperatures with bags of sunshine as well. That carries on into the first week of July. Into the second week of July, we do have a little bit of a cooling trend turning up, so the upper air temperatures are going to begin to slip back towards the long-term 30-year average. Precipitation-wise, going to be loads of dry weather for Northern Ireland as well over the next few days. So rest of June into July basically is going to be dry and increasingly warm with plenty of sunshine. As I say, the further south you go, though, the more showers there will be. Into the second week of June, it looks like turning a little bit more unsettled there, but of course that is a long way off and is in the unreliable time frame. Temperature anomalies from the 26th of June to 4th of July are going to be generally warmer than average in the northern half of the country. But look at that, through central southern England, it's just a little bit on the cooler side. So again, it's that close run thing about whether the CT will come in, you know, around 16 degrees or a little bit lower than that. But certainly in the north, it's going to be very warm with the temperature anomaly for the week ahead. Precipitation anomalies through most central, northern and western parts of UK and Ireland drive an average, but down in the south, going to be a little bit wetter than average. So southern areas really are going to be quite unlucky in the next few days. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that we're bringing in northeast winds. We've got an area of low pressure, a trough, to our south over France. Northerly wind coming in, or northeast wind coming in on the north side of that trough. And so it's this low that will be threatening the risk of heavy showers into the south. Right, let's have a look at some model data then. I'll put the webcam back on for this. Hello, I've returned. Right, so this is how the UK Met is looking for Tuesday. Excuse me. So we've got a trough of low pressure, area of low pressure across northern France into southern England on Tuesday. Will bring risk of showers, if not longer spells of rain then. Into Wednesday, still with that trough in the south. Meanwhile, further north, ridge of high pressure keeps it mainly dry and quite warm. Midnight on Thursday, this trough of low pressure is still there down towards the south. It just does not want to shift, does it? By Friday, end of next week, that trough is finally moving away towards Germany, and high pressure starting to take over to our north. So all areas should be dry and warm by the end of next week. By the time you get through to Saturday, this time next week, this is how it's looking. So still generally high pressure is in control. These areas of low pressure trying to come in from off the Atlantic. They are struggling a little bit. Should be mostly dry and quite warm as we go into next weekend. Whether that lasts through the whole weekend does remain to be seen. Right, GFS, midnight run, looks like that. So again, the trough is in the south on Tuesday. We'll bring showers, if not some long spells of rain. That's still there on Wednesday, Thursday through to Friday, but trough finally moves away to Germany. High pressure takes over across the country, bringing increasing amount of sunshine and dry and warm weather. Into the weekend, again, should be a lot of dry, fine conditions. By Sunday, the ridge is just beginning to weaken a little bit, starting to allow this area of low pressure to begin to move in from off the Atlantic. By the time you get through to the start of the following week, this is Monday, 5th of July, a trough of low pressure now sitting over the country, so beginning to turn more showery once again. And that carries on up to day 10 with low pressure then to our east, high pressure around Iceland, pulling in a wind from a rather cool northeasterly direction and would be quite showery. What happens in the extended range? Let's have a look. The area of low pressure starts to get closer to us, a big low from the Atlantic, and that's turning us more unsettled then. So no particularly hot and dry spell through the first half of July with the GFS midnight run. Actually, probably increasingly unsettled look, through the first week to 10 days of July there on the GFS midnight run. Another change from yesterday. Right, let's have a look at 6 there. See how that one's doing. So again, low pressure will be across all parts of France on Tuesday, bringing showers, long spells of rain into the south, mainly dry and very warm in the north. The trend through the second half of next week should be to turn increasingly dry and warm, with high pressure taking over to our north and northeast. Low pressure is out in the Atlantic being blocked, but still trying to get close to us. And as we go into towards day 10, so it's day 9, Monday the 5th of July, actually the trough of low pressure has broken through and it's started to bring some heavy showers, maybe thunder, to the south. Meanwhile, in the north, close to high pressure remain mainly dry. Up to day 10, just beyond it, we have a go at building up this ridge from the Azores. That looks quite promising, doesn't it? To turn it hot. That's the 7th of July. Looks quite promising there to turn things hot as this ridge builds up from the north. But watch this low to the west of Ireland. That comes through the gap, so we don't quite pull up the ridge. I'll go back. So we've got an area of high pressure over Scandinavia, and we've got a ridge of high pressure from the Azores high, which is, of course, down here, building in towards the UK. So that is trying to set up a large area of high pressure across northern and western Europe. But with this low in the Atlantic, just enough energy to stop that link up taking place, moving in. So the low comes through the gap. We don't get the ridge properly going. And so actually, as we get beyond beyond the 7th of July into the extended range, it starts to look more unsettled once again with the GFS 6Z. So we have a go at linking up the Scandinavian Azores High, but we just don't quite pull it off. So that is, again, looking rather showery through the first week, 10 days of July now. If you're enjoying this video, please smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. If you sub, you'll be able to see future weather content. Thank you so much. Right, here we go then. This is how things are looking on Tuesday with the GM. So high pressure again, out to the northwest, mainly dry in the northwest, showers down in the south. As we move into the second half of this coming week, high pressure will take over, so the showers will ease off. It will turn mainly dry and will be very warm too. Into the weekend, more of an influence from high pressure with the GEM over the weekend. Should be a lot of dry and quite warm weather with that. But as we get towards day 10, even the GEM, which have been quite consistent about high pressure bringing warmer, drier weather, you know, through the first week, 10 days of July, even GM by day 10 is starting to return us to an Atlantic flow and possibly starting to get us a little bit cooler and more unsettled. Quite a change around day 9 and 10, days 9 and 10 with today's model output. ECM looks like that. Again, high pressure out to the west, low pressure to our south on Tuesday, bringing heavy showers and longer spells of rain through to the end of the week and into next weekend. The ridge of high pressure takes over, turns us mostly dry, and you would have thought quite warm with that as well. Into the extended range, you start to see these low pressures meandering in off the Atlantic. So by day 10, we're not particularly unsettled, but we're certainly showery, let's put it that way. We're not going wet and windy, we've not got dartboard lows in the North Atlantic and over country. It's not that bad, but it is beginning to break into like showery conditions there, even with the ECM by day 10 on the 6th of July. This is a precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from ToMetShow.com. All of the rain will be focused on the south in the next few days across England and Wales, and some of it will be heavy, possibly thundery at times. Meanwhile, the northern half of the country will be mainly dry, so those of you in the north, make hay while the sun shines is my advice, because this does not happen all that often, you know, but the south is cooler and wetter than the north. So those of you who are in Scotland and northern England, make hay while the sun is shining would be my advice. By the end of the week, all of that wet weather in the south has eased away. It's turning drier by this point everywhere. But not for long. Into next weekend, it begins to turn more showery, and this time of rain is coming in from the Atlantic. And this time of rain is affecting more northern areas as well, by the way. And up to day 10, we just look rather showery, I have to say. So no protracted spell of warm and dry weather in the first week of July doing there. Right, let's turn off the webcam then. And we'll have a look at the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which of course gets us to the 6th of July. I have 24 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our northeast, low pressure to our west, and a ridge down to the south. This low pressure is trying to come through the gap. We are trying to link up a big area of high pressure there, but below trying to come through the gap. As it is probably not too bad, probably a fair amount of dry weather. But eventually turning more shower. It does include the control and the operational run. So we've established with the operational run, it has around 2 to 3 days of drier weather around days sort of 6, 7, 8. But by days 9 and 10, it is starting to turn more showery. We have 17 members of the ECM ensembles here with high pressure to our north and low pressure to our south. It's going to be quite warm with winds in from the east, but the low to the south could bring wet weather to southern areas and maybe some thunder. Not all that far removed from like what we've got coming up over the next few days, actually. And then we have 10 here, but look very, very unsettled, actually, with low pressure over to the west of the country, and they're bringing in a proper west wind. It's a minority option, but if that came off, obviously we would see a very dramatic deterioration of this summer. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the 11th of July. 22 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure in control, sitting over and to the north of the country, winds in from the east, very warm and dry. 20 with a trough of low pressure right over top of the country, showers along spells of rain, and cool temperature too. And 9 with low pressure to the north and high pressure to the south, looking a little bit flat and westerly with that one. Warmest weather is in the south, most unsettled weather will be in the north. It's all been inconclusive, but definitely there's been like a wobble here on today's model output compared to yesterday's, which yesterday's was really going to town, you know, with high pressure and dry and very warm, maybe probably quite hot heatwave type weather through like the first half of July was implied by a lot of the model output yesterday. There's been a big wobble on that today. Right, CMSB2 lastly, and then we've done meter 500 millibar heights break down to week periods. The first week period takes from 26th of June to the 2nd of July. The coming week will be dominated by high pressure, but low pressure to the south will be threatening rain into southern areas, but dry as always weather therefore will be in the north. Week 2, look at this, 3rd to the 9th of July. The CFS is still hanging in there with high pressure to our north, bringing a very warm, possibly even quite hot easterly wind. It should be mostly dry. So the CFS is still going for it, but GFS and everything else, even the GM, has wobbled on this hot and dry first week to July. The CFS is still going for it. Will it tomorrow, though, I wonder? Week 2 is going to be the 10th through to the 16th of July. The high pressure then centre is beginning to recede away to our east, but we have still got a ridge close to the coast. It's probably turning a little bit more showery, but not overly unsettled, but probably is turning a little bit more showery. And then week 4 is the 17th to 23rd of July. High pressure event is out to our west-southwest, probably lining up jet stream and wind flow on a northwest-southeast alignment. So that will be turning quite a lot cooler and probably rather showery as well. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. If you subscribe, you're going to be able to see future weather content, by the way. Tell friends, family, and everybody else to subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody who subscribes. Brings a friend. We're going to get to our target, which ultimately at the moment is 12k subscribers. We'll get to 12k that much quicker. And drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And we're done for today. So just got to tell you what's coming up tomorrow. So we're going to start off with 7 AM broadcast. We'll have the 3rd autumn update. That's going to be looking at solar analogues this week, you know, analogues of the solar cycle autumns. We're going to have GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup and be live streaming from 6 o'clock. It's a sunny live stream, so we've got to do some long range, as well as short range as well. We've got to do some long range. We'll bring you a bit of a CFS special. I think we'll show you like the broad charts from the CFS, and we will show you one of the CFS runs from Metro Cielo, and we'll extend that all the way from now right through to the end of the coming winter. So that's going to be an interesting watch tomorrow, and that will be coming up from 6 PM. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I shall see you live at 6 tomorrow, or for one of the uploads. But for this video and for today's videos, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.